Hi, you're very welcome. And in this video, I want to show you how to use a thing called parameters in Power BI. It allows you to do what-if questioning. So I've opened up Power BI Desktop and I've come up here to blank report. And then I'm going to import my file here. Just give it a second. And you can see there's what looks like four tables, but actually these two are sheet names, okay? And these two are the table names, and that's what I want to import into my Power BI model. So I click here, and then I click on load. I don't need to do any cleaning up on them, otherwise I'd have to go to transform data. Okay, I'll wait for this to load now. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to come over here to my data model, and I'm just going to have a quick check here and that there is a relationship between the two of them. Now, if I want to pull data from more than one table, there has to be a relationship between them. I'm not going to get into that in this video, but you see there's a link to something on relationships, etc. in the blog post that I did. So I'm going to come over here now to this one, and I'm also going to I'm going to begin by adding in a measure for the sales. So click on this one, and then I'm going to go to new measure. And measures are basically like formulas in Excel. But you have to, the difference is you begin by giving it a name called total sales. And then I just go sum, open my bracket, and you see the list of these ones comes up, all the tables, etc. Click on this one, close my brackets, and press enter. And that's my total sales there as well. Okay. Now, what I'm also going to do as well is I'm going to create another measure based on this that's going to form the basis of for my parameter. So I click back on the fact sales monthly, I go to new measure. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to call this, let's say, my sales change. And I'm just going to go put in a square bracket, it calls up total sales, multiplied by 0.05. Now the 0.5 is basically a placeholder. What I'm going to do later on is put the value for the parameter in place of that, and then go plus, and then my total sales again, and just go this one on it. I got this one done, and then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to create a line chart. I'm going to add my, let's say, total sales. Might add my total sales change as well. And I'm just going to, from my dates over here, let's say I'm just going to put in the month. There we go. And you can see that's the trend of it over time, the total sales changes here. I'm going to add a slicer for my region. Click on the slicer, come up to dim region. That's dim for dimension, not dim for anything else. And that's that one there. Now, the last thing then I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here to my modeling. I'm going to go to new parameter, I'm going to go to numeric range. Okay, and I'm going to call this sales change parameter. And I'm going to choose decimal number. And I'm going to put in minus, because I think it doesn't hurt to mention it could be a drop in sales of 0.5. And let's say I'm going to put, let's say, 5 in this. And I'm going to put an increment of 0.05. I might just actually make that 1 so it's easier to see. I see there's an option down there that says add slicer to the page. And then I click create. Okay, now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to change the settings. This one. And then from my slicer settings, I'm going to change this to a tile. No, not a tile, maybe a drop down. Nope, and you had one there. vertical list. That's what I want. Okay. Now I want to format this as percentages. Okay. And what I want you to notice here is that this process has created this new table over here. So if I click on my sales change here, this one, and then can come up to my column tools, go to this one, click on the percentage, see it changed it to %. And then I can change that automatically. Okay. Now I'm now going to use this parameter in my formula. So I come back over here to my sales change, and then I come up here to my ribbon, and I delete out my 0.05. And then I'm just going to, if I start typing sales change, see sales change parameter comes up here. And then I do a little tick, and that changes that. Right. Now watch what happens when I come down and change one of these parameters. There. You can see there my sales, the dark blue line total sales change. Back to the same. And it's less than it, and so on. And then I could add a filter onto this, east, or if I wanted these to go on the chart, I could just drag my region, click on this chart up here, and drag my region down onto my legend. Oops, undo that for a second, and just drag my region down into my legend. Oops. Do that for a second. Yeah, it's gone to the thing called the small multiples field. So I'm going to delete it from there and make sure I drag the region onto legend. Okay, and I do not know, let me just tick it again. It goes into small multiples, I don't want it there. All right, yeah, I don't know why this was working fine earlier. Okay, so then I can click on that one, or else I could just create a new chart. So click on this chart and just add the region onto it. Goes into the small multiples again. Right. So then you can see there as I click on each of these parameters, it gives me a different value. All right. Okay, hope you found that useful. Mind yourself and take care. Bye.